What can you tell us about the red scarf? Because there must have been a lot of decisions that went into exactly
what can I tell you is the question. I've always been very fascinated, and one of the reasons I wanted to make a short film and not a music video for this song is because I've been fascinated with the dynamic of the age of the character that Sadie's playing, and what a precarious age that is when you are, you could fit back at your family home, sort of, but you sort of don't. You could fit in an adult's cultivated apartment where they have like a French press and they have all the things that adults have, but you kind of don't. So you kind of fit everywhere, but you kind of fit nowhere. And I think that plays into a little bit of where she's coming from. And I have to credit Dylan too with the fact that I know that he's gaslighting her, and I know that he's like, I know it's problematic, but I'm watching that and I'm like, he is so charismatic. He is charismatic, problematic, and I am still sort of rooting for them to work through this because he makes some charming points. Yeah. And he does it in a really, really, like, I don't know, just the way that they both played it, I was just blown away.
It's beautiful because I'm sure so many people relate to it as well, because charismatic, problematic, definition of a boyfriend, maybe?
An ex-boyfriend.
Okay, an ex-boyfriend. I don't know how far we want to go with that, but...
Zero.
Zero, that's
Nowhere.
There's another element in the film that there are a lot of theories about, which is that red scarf.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the red scarf? Because there must have been a lot of decisions that went into exactly
what can I tell you is the question. Basically, you stop it. Stop it. Basically, the scarf is a metaphor, and we turned it red because red is a very important color in this album, which is called Red.
Right.
And I think when I say it's a metaphor, I'm just going to stop.
Leave it.
And I'm going to say thanks for the incredible question to whoever asked it. You've really taken us for a ride with that one. Thank you.
Scarf question was mine, actually.
Thanks, at Cameron Bailey.
That's right. Yes.
Thank you.
You mentioned music videos, and I do want to go back. Because before you directed this film, you began to have increasing visual input into the making of your music videos. And I want to ask about that process, how you were drawn to getting into the creativity of the music videos as opposed to just being on camera.
Yeah, it was a baby steps process. It wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, you know what I want to do? Direct. Like that was never something that I was programmed to say to myself because I didn't go to film school. I've been on the set of 60 plus music videos, and I've learned a lot from that process because I've always got my eyes and ears open, and I'm always looking at shots and thinking, I like that one, I don't like that, why and why not? I like that lighting, I don't like that light, why and why not? And so you kind of are learning based on your experience, but I had a really, really close creative relationship with Joseph Kahn, who's just like a legend in music videos. He did Toxic by Britney Spears, which is just to give you an example of what we're dealing with. And we made several music videos, and we got to the point where I'd call him up and I'd be like, okay, wrote this song called Look What You Made Me Do. I want to come out of the ground as a zombie, right? We're seeing my hand out of the ground, and then I'm dead, and then I'm in a bathtub of diamonds, and then there's a mountain of me's trying to kill the current me, and he'd be on the phone and be like, yeah, I know exactly what we're doing. Okay, amazing. And so having that relationship where essentially it got to the point where I was sort of starting to write the treatments to the videos, and I then decided it might be really cool to co-direct and to step into that role. And so I got to co-direct a few videos with incredible collaborators, and I learned what it was like to start writing in-depth treatments and shot listing and really leaning into it. but when I did it on my own, that was when I really, really learned everything.
All of the evolution we've been talking about, from beginning to contribute to and collaborate on music videos to making your own short films and this one, it particularly recently, it's coincided with you taking back control of your music.
Yeah.
Which we've all been following and celebrating. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I really appreciate you saying that. But if you're new to this saga, what Cameron's referencing is that basically I started out on an indie record label I signed when I was a teenager, and I had always had the hope, desire, and dream of buying back my master recordings for my first 6 albums when it came time to, when my record deal was fulfilled. When my deal was done, that didn't happen. My music was all sold to an outside party, and yeah. But basically, what happened was like a period of like extreme despair for me, and then I came out of that and said to myself, if I made that music the first time, I can make it a second time, and it was so exciting, honestly, to get to do something that I haven't really seen done in the music industry in this particular way.
Stroke of genius.
That is so nice. That is so
really,
nice.
It's just brilliant. Really.
And so basically, we treat them like they're big releases. Like we do a whole album. We redo the entire photo shoot. Mm-hmm. You know, we make music videos, and sometimes we make a short film. Mm-hmm. And so it's really been, honestly, insanely beautiful, because you have my friend's daughter is like 12, and her friends were saying like, oh, like we love this new Taylor Swift song that just came out called "You Belong with Me," and I was like, who's gonna tell her? No, like don't tell her. That's a really old song that came out in like 2008 or something. Mm-hmm. So it's really been an amazing opportunity to revisit my old music, make exact copies of the old music. And what I also do now is there were a lot of songs that I wrote that didn't end up on the album. So we call those songs from the vault tracks. So I record them, I put them out. So it's been really wonderful, and it's only been possible because the fans actually want this to happen. I can't believe that too. Like, that's amazing that you guys have been so wonderful about it. But basically this song, All Too Well, the 10-minute version, has a very long story. It is a story about as long as the song, but I'll try to make it shorter. This was a song that originally was released on an album called Red in 2012. Thank you so much. You guys are great. And it was a song that I loved so much, but it was never chosen by, an A&R team in a conference room as being a single. Nobody saw the potential in it except for the fans, who loved it so much that they made it sort of their favorite song on that album. For me, the song was so tough because it was about something that at that point was very current for me. I would have a really hard time performing it at the time. Like, I had to really force myself to focus on other things to try to get through it during tour. So there would be no world in which I could have made a visual element to that song at that point in time. I needed 10 years of sort of retrospect in order to know what I would even make to tell a version of that story visually. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do that with some crazy stroke of all these different twists of fate. Can't believe it.
Do you make a connection between coming to the point where you can create your own images and owning your own music? What's the connection?
I think it's very connected, and not in a way that was conscious, but I think in a way where, hopefully the more years you live, the more things you learn, and you hope that you get braver as time goes on. And I've been very lucky to, when I've taken these baby steps creatively, I've been very lucky to have people go like, no, go further. It's great. We keep going. It's, And I think I would have really tried to keep expanding creatively, even if I had been like squashed the first time I tried to make something. But it was really beautiful that we're in a place where hearing the idea of a female filmmaker doesn't make you roll your eyes or think as skeptically as it once was. And we have, you know, so many incredible female filmmakers to thank for that.
Yes.
Like, you know?
A lot of them here during the festival. this year,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And I just feel really grateful. Like you think about people like Nora Ephron, who, you know, there's people who paved the path, and then there's like Nora Ephron, like in the forest with a machete, just like hacking, like to where the path will be paved. And I think about writer-directors like that who inspired the writer-directors who inspired me. It's like a whole, I think about people like that all the time. I also just do want to say that I'm aware of the fact that I'm in an incredibly privileged place to have gotten to finance this short film independently. Because when we talk about female filmmakers, I am one of them, but I also realize that there are people who are working so hard to get financing and to get any type of budget together to make the productions that they and the projects that they want to make. So I honestly like bow down and tip my hat to those female filmmakers.